Hello, civilized people. We had something of a moment. We recorded an episode, and then, not 20 minutes later, it largely became irrelevant. So, we're going to be posting that other episode we recorded immediately after this one, sort of as a part two to give our take on the RNC convention. And yeah, I'm not even going to bother with a introduction to this one because, yeah, today we are going to be discussing pillow fucking and dolphin sex because that is what the election has devolved into. So anyway, Colton, how you doing today?
A little irritated. How about you?
Little irritated. you don't say. This is absolutely nanners, man. What the hell has gone on? What the hell happened?
Calling this political discourse is a- an insult to anything professional. I don't. Just the level of everything going on lately
I
is
mean,
stupid. It's just stupid. It doesn't matter for either way. It just is
yep,
so dumb.
yep, the media sucks. The politicians suck. And I'm getting the real sneaking suspicion that the voters kind of suck too.
Anybody that falls for this, you deserve the worst three-letter agencies.
Yes, you deserve those. Like this is so no. Let's start with the whole borders are thing. You know, right now immigration is obviously that big issue that seems to be dominating this election. And for the last like 3 years, the media has been talking about how Kamala Harris is the borders are. Kamala Harris is overseeing the border. Kamala Harris is the borders are. And what are they saying now, Colton?
Never happened. I don't know what you're talking
Never
about.
happened. Never happened. We and the area where they're doing it is like, oh, that's not a real title. That's like saying, in some of our past professional experience, Colton has been, my right hand, and that's like the media saying, no, he wasn't. He's not attached to your wrist. He's not your right hand. It. This is a phrase. Like, and what makes it so much more disingenuous is that it's the same people who have called her that in the past, saying that she isn't now for some reason. What the fuck, Colt?
If anybody allows the wool to be pulled over their eyes like this, I just don't know what to say to you. Like, or if you believe yourself, if you've seen, 30 clips of different talking heads at this point saying that Kamal was never the borders are, and then it could literally be paired with someone replying because that's all people love to do now is just be like, actually, you're wrong. And then they post a clip that's just them doing, exactly that of calling Kamal the borders are. It it's just dumb from both sides. Like, first of all, the media shouldn't be doing this. This is what do you gain out of this? Like, obviously, you're trying to separate Kamala from the border disaster that currently is our policy.
Yeah,
Fair, but you you're just making yourself lose even more credibility than you never had, which I guess is fine. It's your paycheck, right? And then two,
but
the you shouldn't fall for this and fall to their level because it just doesn't matter. You don't need to combat every issue when it's plain to see that they're just lying.
and the kind of people that are going to still fall for this, I mean, there are a lot of arguments against democracy, and
And
they tend to be one of the best.
the average voter being the strongest argument.
Yes. Um. So, God, the insanity of this has just been hilarious. So, I mean, another big talking point right now is that, oh, voters didn't like Biden because of his age. Colton, you care to clarify what issue voters had with Biden in one simple word?
I'm gonna go on longer than that. Sorry. Um, Again, they're trying to misdirect and be like, no, the problem people had wasn't his age, or like it was his age. No, it was that he has like dementia and he's not functioning. Like that was the
Yeah,
issue. That it's not that
the
like we've had
the
old
word
presidents.
yeah, the word I was going for was dementia. The man is clearly not all there at this point. Like, the cogs just aren't turning like they used to.
It is.
And
Ugh.
I'm going to go out and say it. This has been painfully obvious since that this was happening since he was Obama's VP. Like, you could see the telltale signs,
It's
and it
it's
was very obvious in 2020,
yeah.
and yet it was also covered up. And all this time, you've had, oh, it's just so disingenuous. You have seen people say, "Oh, Biden is, in the best shape of his life. Biden is as sharp as a tack. Biden is, in perfect mental condition.
He's a super
This
ager.
this is this is the best version of Joe Biden." And I mean, God, what I think it was like in his the guy can't get off of a stage, and while he's up on a stage, he randomly wanders around and looks at various things while somebody else is speaking. Sometimes, when he's speaking, he just turns around and talks to the people standing behind him, like his guards. It's like, what the hell? This has been an ongoing thing for years. And it wasn't until the debate where, everybody was watching and it was actually the talking point of, hey, does is Joe Biden all there? That people that the media were like, I guess we sort of have to admit it now. It's not really working well. Like at this point, the media is in no way, shape, or form coming off as a broker of truth.
We had about 2 weeks of media honesty about the current administration,
Yes, we did have about 2 weeks.
and now they've gotten the orders from upon high that now they're just going to reframe everything as going like, well, the Democrats got rid of their old guy, now the Republicans need to, and it's like that wasn't the issue.
That was never the issue at all. The issue was that the big difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is that I can say with reliable confidence that, Donald Trump is capable of making a decision. Whether you agree with that decision or not, he is capable of it. Joe Biden, I'm not sure if Joe Biden knows he is president of the United States at any given time. And I'll even say that I'm not sure that Joe Biden knows he has dropped out of the presidential race. Even his speech to announce it, that was pre-recorded, and he stumbled a good bit in that. And he never really cited why he was dropping out. I don't even know. Looking back, I don't even recall him. Like, he said he was going to step aside, but I don't recall him stating that, like, directly. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm dropping out of the presidential race. I'm not going to accept the nomination. I know that this big sway of the voters voted for me in the primary. Yada yada yada. But it just was not addressed. And that's a little on the side. I apologize for that, Colton. But still, just the amount of blatant dishonesty surrounding that has been dumbfounding. Like, this seems like elder abuse, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and we're also like, if you want to, you may not like Trump, that's fine. You may hate him, that's fine. You don't even have to watch the video, but there's a video of him golfing with the U.S. Open winner, for an hour, and like he's doing physical activities and holding a conversation. Like that video does not exist for Biden. That
Yeah, nothing like that has existed for Biden in years.
anyway, should we move past Biden?
Uh, yeah, I think we can go on past Biden. So, all right, Colton, let's talk about the real key issue facing politics today, which is pillow fucking and dolphin pussy, which I can't believe is actually something that just came out of my mouth. But here we are.
I
Go ahead. Go ahead and
first
explain it. Go ahead and explain it, Colton. Just like give people the rundown of what exactly we're talking about.
so in order to characterize and assassinate JD Vance, there's been a series of hit piece articles and social media bot posts that are just talking about how JD Vance wanted to have some fun with the couch cushions, and how at some point or another, I don't even know when, because I just looked away as soon as I saw this. Also, he looked up something about the sexuality of dolphins. You have to remember, this man was a Marine.
Yeah.
What do you expect to be in their search history of a
Okay.
U.S.
Yeah.
Marine?
Crayon flavors.
Yeah, and
And we say that with the utmost respect for the Marine Corps. They
they're
know.
laughing at the joke too.
Yes.
Oh,
That's why Marine Corps MREs have the Crayola label on them.
label is edible,
hmm The box
but
too.
this is what I was pointing towards though in the beginning of the record is this. What the hell is maybe we just have to become more used to this with more millennials being involved in national elections. That we're just going to get some hit piece about something they looked up at one point or another, their search history.
Like, it is staggering. It is staggering. Like the fact that accusations, political accusations of a candidate wanting to bang a dolphin
I don't
and
even
hump.
think that was it. I mean, it could
uh,
be. Fuck it. It could be. Let's just go with that.
Exactly. Who cares?
Ugh.
Like at this point, it's just like I don't have words, Colton. This is utter insanity.
Outside of
Um,
some very niche things, I really don't give a fuck about what anybody looks up, let alone leaders.
yeah,
It's just there's like two things that are on my no list, and then everything else I don't care.
and I'm assuming both of those are related to children, probably.
I I mean, yeah, one of them is. I don't even know what the second one is, but I'm sure we could conflate that to two. But yeah, like
Sweet mother of God.
what the hell is our politics?
I don't know.
Again,
Eh, eh,
I
eh,
don't think anybody gives a shit. Do you think anybody gives a shit really about this?
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. I believe that there will be people that see this nonsense, one or two of them, and think, oh, JD Vance, he's a dolphin fucker. At this point, the fact that people are spending money to do it tells me that there has to be some justification behind it because we've come from the data world. You can see what effect these things have. And do you think that people are going to dump money into this stuff if it's not in some way effective?
The thing is, though, is that we're reaching levels of bullshit that are just around. That I don't think anybody believes anything, and if they do, they only think about it for 5 minutes until the next thing comes around. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's like the peak levels of over socialization via social media. You know,
sometimes I just sometimes I just hate people, Colton. I just it's like
hence our
what
picture.
yes, hence our picture of the day. But oh my God. And what's dumbfounding in all of this is that the election is pretty much already over anyway. Kamala Harris is in her honeymoon period. And you just got to head the numbers from swing states, Colton.
Yeah,
Could you go over that real quick?
I'll pull them up. I'll read them. I'll read them fast so everybody can just not have to care. All right.
And these are ones since these are recents.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead, man.
Harris v. Trump, Pennsylvania, Trump 3.8 lead. Harris v. Trump, Nevada, 8.6 lead for Trump. Arizona, 6.4 lead for Trump. Georgia, 4.8 lead for Trump. Michigan, 2.0 lead in 4 polls. These are also conglomerates. Like I can say, like the Pennsylvania one was 9 polls. Like
Yeah, these are averages.
it's and these are the key swing states for this election. Like it is so over. Like Joe is out. It is Jover for him, right? And then we thought it was Kamala commencing. It was never commencing for her. And then now it's like calm over.
Kamala come over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it never even began. Like it's and
Yeah,
it
this and I mean, a part of me thinks the media is just doing this to, generate interest so people watch them to try and make, the election look closer than it is. But and I mean, anything can happen between now and election day, but sweet mother of Christ. Uh
I wonder at this point what would qualify as an October surprise.
JD Vance, like video emerging of JD Vance actually making sweet passionate love to a dolphin. Would that do it?
I still don't think I'd care. Maybe that's just me, but I just wouldn't even click on it to begin with.
I, I didn't realize you were into that kind of thing.
I just
But
said I
okay.
wouldn't click on it. I don't know why you'd want to see that.
Rule 34, Colton. Somebody is going to make an animation of this. You know it.
Don't bring that into this world. Don't speak that into the world.
All right.
Ugh. By the way, also we forgot to mention something about Kamala's campaign.
Yeah.
The media has crowning her already that she has won the meme war somehow because apparently she is a brat. That's a good thing apparently.
Uh, the left can't meme, man. I'm sorry. The left lacks that kind of humor entirely. Entirely.
Maybe there's just a whole other side of the internet we've never seen, and like just our algorithms just don't ever point us there. But
I
I
don't know.
still fail to see how being called a brat is a good thing.
I mean, I have seen. I mean, I've worked with a lot of Democrats, and even they acknowledge that their humor is not does not hit the same way, which I have to assume is why given the fairly stark stances taken by late night comedians, all their numbers have gone down because only the left really finds them funny anymore, or mostly just the left finds them funny.
So
But
I just
yeah.
did something dangerous and clicked on an article, and thankfully no audio started playing. But it, this was posted 7 hours ago on USA Today.
Mhm.
Brat summer is in full swing for Kamala Harris and others. What does that mean? What? Like, what is this? I don't know anybody that gives a shit about this, and this is like the tail end of my generation. Like what?
Yeah, there is no. I mean, don't even get me started on the various talking points what talking points the Democrats have had to use against Trump that are no longer relevant. and they're trying to replace it with shit like that.
Or, now he's the old guy.
Yeah, now he's the old guy, but all those talks about democracy, well, they had a primary, and then you essentially had an internal coup to get rid of the candidate that won it.
Mhm.
And so you get somebody essentially just selected by the leaders of the party. And I think that's a fairly reluctant selection. And I mean, it's not even been that enthusiastically welcomed internally. I mean, hell, Chuck Schumer was discussing his endorsement and basically had his, please clap moment like Jeb had back in 2016.
Jeb's gonna sweep this election.
He is. How does he keep doing it? How does he keep doing it?
Just
I mean,
it's
according to some of the maps I've seen, he should be the prime minister of Britain and the president of France. So, he's really branching out. But yeah, the other thing that I have seen in all of this that is really kind of funny is that they're talking about Kamala going up in various polls and, well, with certain demographics. And the only demographic she's really going up with is young people. And what's the problem with young people, Colton?
oh, they don't vote.
They don't fucking vote. And they're not even all that enthusiastic. There's a little more enthusiasm, but that's not election flipping. And then she's, not terribly popular with older people. She's not popular with middle-aged people. She's actually going down in those areas. And this is her before, any, attacks are run against her really. You haven't seen Kamala on a debate stage, not since 2016. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil it. She's not very good.
You mean
Uh
2020, right?
2020, yes, 2020, when both when she was running for president and whenever she was in the VP debate. She's not very good at debating. And I don't know why, but she just cackles whenever she's talking. And it's like this awkward hyena laugh. And, honestly, do you think they would have had a better shot with Joe Biden?
No. It's just like they've thrown the zombie out of the car to realize that they're still stuck with the cackling witch. Like, there's no positive. It's just a
There's no
different
pause.
enemy.
Like, I don't. Do you see a way that Democrats win this election outside of something truly, truly heinous?
I mean, it's always possible, but like Trump could say some dumbass shit that he's been known to say, and like maybe like that's just the worst thing ever. Somehow, I don't know. Like, it's not impossible, but it's also like no, you know.
Yeah,
Like, it's
and I mean
Trump's to lose.
it is, and I mean, oh Lord, what's his name? I believe a senator from Arizona,
Mark Kelly.
Mark Kelly. Yeah, he's there's talk of him being the VP pick, which I'm assuming they're hoping will help carry her in Arizona. I don't think Kamala is really getting any say in who her VP is going to be at this point. I'm pretty sure, party officials are essentially saying it's going to be this and you're going to like it as they try to navigate the absolute disaster, which is their 2024 campaign.
Who's the other option that's been showing up besides Mark Kelly? Or is it
Gretchen Whitmer.
they're not doing that? I've been seeing Shapiro still, but
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
if
know.
they so the problems with Whitmer obviously is that now you have a two woman ticket and you in an era where the Democrats are losing male votes, they need all of them they can get, and going with a double woman ticket will not help. And
It
then
will not.
if they go with Shapiro, obviously he's Jewish, they're gonna lose like all the progressive votes.
Yeah. This Like Mark Kelly might be worthwhile. The only reason why I would cite Gretchen Whitmer would be that she might have some Rust Belt appeal, considering she's from Michigan. Some Rust Belt appeal. And that's, but I don't think it's enough to win those states. As right now, unless I'm very much mistaken, Trump is still polling ahead in Minnesota. He is still polling ahead in this, like, Maine at large. And I believe he is still polling ahead in Virginia, which aren't generally listed as swing states because they aren't typically swing states. These are not the states you would expect to be up for grabs by a Republican. My sweet God. Like, and I think another question that has to be asked: who the hell is the president right now?
No, they're just hoping to
People,
glaze that over.
and then another thing that came up in his speech to step aside from the presidency was his desire to reform the Supreme Court.
That's
Do you
dangerous.
realize how insane that would be?
I mean, pretty much for Democrats, that just means packing the court, right?
It does mean packing the court. But the catch is that any kind of thing that operates like that can immediately be challenged, and the Supreme Court gets the final say in whether they can pack the court or not.
Well, I don't think it's unconstitutional to increase the members.
It's not constitutional or unconstitutional. It's not like explicitly said no. But at the same point in time, I don't see a world in which the Supreme Court doesn't, take that up because it impacts the court. So I don't see that not being something the Supreme Court, takes a
Well,
stance at.
as of right now, the Republicans have 49 seats and the Democrats have 47, and there's four independents. I don't even think they'd have the approval necessary to
They don't.
appoint new justices.
They
So
don't.
I'm not really worried about that.
I don't see, a Manchin doing it.
No, I think he would probably be like vehemently against that just because most older
And
people probably are.
yeah, so I don't really see that pathway. And I think it's safe to say he's going to be replaced by a Republican this cycle. Now that he is stepping down,
Hmm.
he won because he's Joe Manchin. He did not win because he was a Democrat. Considering he won in a state where I think it was Trump's largest margin of victory or second largest margin of victory.
I bet Oklahoma was his largest margin.
It might have been Wyoming, one of those Midwestern states.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know it offhand.
if I remember correctly, it was Kansas was the only state where you did not have a blue county.
I thought that was Oklahoma.
Maybe it was. They're very close to each other. They're very flat. You know, they're barely indistinguishable. And
Oklahoman's
then
seething right now.
I know. Wait, isn't Whataburger from Oklahoma?
No, it's from
Where's it from
Texas.
then? I thought it started in another state.
No, it got bought out
But
by some Chicago people, but it started in Texas.
oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, I there is just such gross incompetence on so many levels. And, I'm just going to throw this out there because this is something else impacting the election and it's all over the place in the news. Like, I'm not going to go into any kind of like crazy conspiracies with this, but the whole Trump assassination thing, you had the fucking Secret Service director get up and say that there was a, safety risk for putting people on a sloped roof. A roof where the slope of it was less than your average, ramp for somebody with a wheelchair. And that was too steep. And that's what they went with. Like, we are seeing incompetence in how politicians are running their campaign. We're seeing incompetence in the government. We are seeing fucking incompetence everywhere. And eventually you get to a point is like, is this incompetence or is this intentional? And I don't know, Colton. Like, I have a hard time believing that people could just be this stupid. Do
Maybe
you?
somewhere a libertarian made a wish for an incompetent federal government, and then the monkey paw curled.
Nice. But yeah, I mean this I mean the last month and a half has basically just looked like the kind of shit show designed to make people lose any and all respect for the federal government. And we're in the US and people don't like it anyway. I don't know, man. This is insanity.
It boggles the mind.
Yeah. Was there anything else like truly batshit crazy
No, I think that's
that we
pretty
have not
much
yet
it. I
talked about?
think that's pretty much it. And like, combining it with the other episode.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, and one thing that is important if we want to talk about incompetence, and I just threw out the assassination thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what just happened today?
What?
The FBI confirmed that Donald Trump was shot in the ear with a bullet.
Is that because like the Newsweek or whatever I think it was said that he didn't get shot?
I have no idea, but apparently something that you could like. There are videos that sort of display it. Like, don't believe your lying eyes. You need to wait on the FBI to tell you this stuff. Apparently, but what the fucking hell? This this is just such utter fucking incompetence. I like I honestly I don't know. I don't know. I swear I'm gonna need a stiff drink.
Well,
A
on that
really
note,
stiff drink after all
folks.
of this. Yeah. So we're going to upload the episode we recorded a few days ago immediately after this one. And so thank you all for listening. We hope you'll listen to the next one as well. And please like and subscribe. We are wanting to grow our audience. Please share with friends if they find such insanity amusing. But anyway, everybody take care. Have a
have
good one.
have a good one, folks.